Ki khubor ka bate si TV. Lawan Rashapi taka Frank Motors. Booking open for the new Nexon. Visit Frank Motors or call 7045207973.
Ke Dr. H. Gordon Robert Hospital, ke Balong ke Shlem I Jing Sumar, ke Bala Rimha, ke Badan ha ke Shnong Jayau Shillong, ya ke Bala Seng ha ke Arp Sandrik Uleber, ke Kandai Spa Arpuar, bat ke Bala Tip Minchwa, kum ke Welsh Mission Hospital, ke la Penha Perda, ya ke Jing Rakhi, ya ke Jing Dap Shispa Snem, ya ke Bala Sedang, Naduk ke Kandai Trik Ujiliu Arajar Arpuar. Hakari kesngi laya don lang Chief Secretary jangka Sarkar Jilla uba Donald P. Watlang, President jangka Khasi Author Society u Dr. DRL Nonglai, u MLA jangka North Shillong Constituency uba Edelbert Nongrum, u Moderators jangka Khasi Jaintia Presbyterian Synod Sepngi u Reverend W.P. Marbanyang, u Moderator jangka Khasi Jaintia Presbyterian Synod Mingi u Reverend C.L. Lalu, Moderators jangka Khasi Jaintia Presbyterian Assembly, Reverend G.S. Litan, Senior Administrative Secretary General Assembly, ka Presbyterian Church of India, Reverend Dr. Lalrin Kima, Administrative Secretary jangka Khasi Jaintia Presbyterian Assembly, Reverend R.R. Rapsang, Chairman jangka Hospital Governing Board, Reverend S.S. Majau bat kiwe. Hakani ke jing benkut ya kani ke jing rakhi, lawan sa kilang na ki dotle na kri Wales, Bekinthop usahab Wim Angel Jones, baru persa kurim jong u Garrett Roberts, Sean Pinherno ya kalama rakhe Jubilee, la pelat Paidbah ya ke souvenir, da moderator jong ka Khasi Jaintia Presbyterian Assembly, Reverend G.S. Litan.
On 25th March 1922, the opening ceremony of this grand hospital took place. On 25th March 1922. The construction had started in 1915, to be more specific on the 21st of January 2015, which coincides with Meghalaya Day if we talk about it today. And at noon, exactly at 12 o'clock on 25th of March, the following hymn was sung. O thou through suffering perfect maid, on whom the bitter cross was laid. In hour of sickness, grief and pain, no sufferer turns to thee in vain, which epitomizes the overall objective of setting up the hospital and the services given to all the local people at a period of time. With just over ₹1 lakh of rupees, the hospital started functioning amid all the challenges. Rupees 70,000 only was spent for the main building of the hospital. And Dr. H. Gordon Roberts was the medical officer in charge, and Ms. Margaret Buckley was the sister in charge. The first month of the hospital when it was operating, and subsequently the few years thereafter, the total operating cost of the hospital was only £66 per month, which comes to approximately about 7,000 rupees per month. The initiative came about with great challenges, like today, doctors were not available and those qualified, the hospital could not afford to pay them. And one of the principles that set upon the work was self-sufficiency. We should be self-sufficient, and we need to be self-sufficient in whatever we do. And to start, you need a nurse, you need doctors, yes, you need nurses, but more than that, to run a hospital, you need technical hands. Where will you get engineers in 1922? Where will you get technical people in 1922? It was impossible. And for any maintenance work, they had to call people all the way from Calcutta, which will entail a journey of a week just to come for maintenance work, which could take maybe half an hour, which could take maybe a couple of hours, or maybe a day. So it was very, very challenging. But Dr. Roberts, at that point of time, found that the local Khasis were very good with their hands and they were very good in they had the technical ability. Therefore, he identified one Elvin Gatko, who did wondrous work in the piping system of the hospital then. The piping for both steam as well as water. He was a giant as far as technical functions is concerned, and I think without him, it would have been impossible for them to run this hospital. It's just not administrative, it's just not medical care, curative care, it's the management of the hospital which was very important. Elvin Gatko also set up the electric cable, the switch gear, and that saved a lot of time for people to come all the way from Calcutta and therefore made the functioning of the hospital more smooth and more seamless. His motto in life was, why not? We will try. So he was very good, as I said, with his hands. And not only that, they produced electricity locally here at the hospital. They had water, they had steam. And at that point of time, they even developed an X-ray which was made here locally in the hospital campus. It was very, very difficult. They casted metals, they fabricated equipment on their own without any formal training. As surgical work started and became more and more complicated and complex, they even manufactured oxygen on their own in this hospital. It was unthinkable at a point of time, nearly 90 years back, that they manufactured oxygen. We struggled with oxygen in 2020, not only here, all over the country, all over the world. But they manufactured oxygen on their own by obtaining electrolytic cell through low voltage current. And the oxygen released from water, oxygen was released, hydrogen was released, they captured the oxygen in a gasometer. And the piping work which was done at that point of time to the wards as well as to the operation theatre was utilized for these more complex operations. In fact, oxygen concentrators were made since then and cylinders were produced and also used right from the point of time. It took 3 months to get oxygen cylinders from Calcutta at that point of time. There was no Guwahati, there was no Assam. We were part of Assam then. And had to get it all the way across the now Bangladesh to Calcutta, and it took 3 months to get one cylinder. But they produced locally with the help of these local technicians. Another innovation at the point of time was the boiler, the steam kitchen. The boiler, in fact, was a very huge and remarkable landmark of Shillong city. Steam laundry to ensure clean linen. You'll also see they are all spick and span in white uniforms. And also the electricity was produced through a steam-driven generator. This provided relief when the power shutdown was there, which plunged the whole town into darkness except the hospital compound. So these people who were behind the scenes were equally responsible with all the contributions they made over a period of time. So as you can fathom, the challenges were endless. We should be grateful and thank God for producing luminaries like Dr. H. Gordon Roberts, Dr. R.A. Hedges, Sister Mary Margaret Buckley, Ms. Evans, who came and served the local people of the region.
Thus far has the Lord helped us. As we close our celebration and lowering the century flag, and as we continue our journey from now onward, may God's abundant blessing enable the hostel to be more effective in the years to come. I announce closing of the celebration. To God be the glory.
We will remember, we will steps of your